At my lowest point, I heartlessly abandoned her. After achieving fame and fortune, she sought mad revenge, forcing me into marriage by any means necessary. The entire city believed I was her most cherished possession. Little did they know she brought home a new lover every night, solely to witness my heart being pierced by 1,000 arrows. Yet she never imagined I was already terminally ill. Now, I coldly count down the days until my death. In the 3rd year of our marriage, Claire took on a new lover named Ryan. He bore an uncanny resemblance to my younger self. For half a year, Claire showered him with unparalleled affection, surpassing any previous mistress. Friends warned me my position was in jeopardy. I could only respond with a bitter smile. After all, I awoke each morning with unstoppable nosebleeds. The doctor declared I wouldn't live past next spring. I wasn't afraid of death, but I dreaded the agony before it. Unfortunately, the life-saving medication was absurdly expensive, far beyond my means, so I forced myself to go to her office despite my illness. To my shock, I stumbled upon Ryan bragging to her colleagues. He eyed my emaciated form with contempt and sneered. "So, this is the real deal. Looks like a dying man." Then, he handed me a cup of tea with a taunt. "Claire says I am her top priority." In that instant, I saw a reflection of my former self in him. Over the years, Claire had brought countless men home to test my limits. Yet none had lasted longer than a week. Ryan, however, was different. She took him out to dinner, shopping, movies. They looked like a devoted couple. So I gazed at him and smiled gently. "Since you are so important, why not convince her to divorce me and let you take my place?" Unexpectedly, those words instantly ignited Ryan's fury. His face darkened, his voice trembling with rage. "You freeloading good? For nothing. What right do you have to cling to this position?" In the shoving, he crashed heavily to the floor. The teacup in his hand shattered, blood instantly pooling on the floor. Just then, the conference room door burst open. Claire witnessed the entire scene. Amidst the stunned onlookers, she flung aside her documents and rushed frantically toward Ryan, clutching his hand tightly. Her eyes brimmed with unprecedented tenderness. Her voice turned icy as she demanded, "Who did this?" I let out a dry chuckle and answered directly, "I did. He deserved it." To my surprise, Ryan roared through the pain, vowing to stay by Claire's side forever. The absurdity of his words made Claire laugh out loud. Right in front of me, she gently tousled his hair. "Don't be angry, I'd worry." In that moment, I sobered up completely. Ryan wasn't just a replacement to me. He was Claire's final blow. Who would have thought that as the husband of a wealthy family, my demand for $50,000 was actually to buy my life back? But Claire coldly threw out a single sentence. "I can give you the money, but you have to apologize to Ryan first." She actually wanted to use 50 grand to buy off my dignity and curry favor with her new lover. In that instant, the excruciating pain in my body surged back with overwhelming force. I forced a bitter smile and turned to leave. This money to buy my life? I don't want it. Returning alone to the empty house, I curled up on the bed, drenched in cold sweat from the agony. To endure the excruciating pain, I frantically swallowed sleeping pills, praying that once asleep, I wouldn't feel death closing in. Half asleep, I seemed to return to my 20s. Back then, Claire was dirt poor, yet she'd freeze her fingers in the dead of winter just to buy me cake. Without thinking, I dialed her number. My voice was soft and desperate. "Claire, it is snowing. I want cake." Waking in the dead of night, I went downstairs for a snack. There, sitting in the living room, was Claire, the one I hadn't seen in years. She had long since moved in with Ryan, yet here she was, appearing out of nowhere. Her gaze locked onto me, her brow furrowed. Her voice carried a tenderness even she hadn't noticed. "Why have you become so thin?" I felt only bitterness and flung her hand away. Then, I saw a cake adorned with candles on the dining table, so that phone call hadn't been a dream. A casual remark from me, and she'd actually gone out to buy it. In the past, I would have been overwhelmed with gratitude, but now, when I was about to die, what good